The next song we're going to play, Radiohead's Calmer Police, has a couple of bar chords in it. Now, in the video, I do give you some workarounds if you want to avoid the bar chords, but, of course, to be a good fingerstyle guitarist, you will need ultimately to be able to play bars. So this short video is designed to give you some tips to help you on your way. Now, the first technique I want to talk about is the left-hand thumb. Usually for chords, we'll bring it up to the top of the neck and let it rest there while the fingers play a chord shape. Not for bar chords. The thumb is going to be the pressure point against which the barring finger pushes. I hesitate to use that word because I don't want you to push too hard with bars, but we'll come on to that in a moment. But have a nice firm anchor of that left hand in the middle of the back of the neck of the guitar. And that's where, you can just see my left hand finger appearing there, that's the pressure point that the finger is going to push against. Make sure that the left hand thumb is lined up directly opposite the barring finger. Now as I go to make a bar here, barring at the 3rd fret, the left hand appears to be lying absolutely flat across all 6 strings, but in fact it's very slightly leaning to the left. Now that's important, not too much, but you'll find if you're pressing it in the right place, let me see if I can do this, I'm going to squeeze very hard here and see if I can show you where the lines of the strings are on my finger. Can you notice that they're running from the middle to the outside edge of the finger? That's because that finger is very slightly leaning to the left. It's not lying absolutely flat. The next point I want to make is that although we appear always to be pressing all the strings, we aren't always. Take, for example, a G chord bar. That's a bar at the 3rd fret and the E chord shape in front of the bar. Now to play that chord, the only notes that I need ringing at the 3rd fret are the 6th, 2nd and 1st. So as I'm playing that bar, actually the pressure in the middle of the bar, around about strings 4 and 3, is not great at all. If I were to take the E shape off, you would find that those strings would be dead. But 1, 2 and 6 are ringing. So I'm not applying pressure across all 6 strings all the time. Now when you first try and make a bar, don't worry about any additional fingers. Simply try and get the finger to hold down 6 strings, somewhere in the middle of the neck. I was 3rd fret there, but 5th fret is even better. Just see if you can get it to squeeze down all 6 strings, and initially, if you want to, allow your middle finger to support it. And play each string one at a time. And you're aiming to get them all to ring, and probably you'll find that the middle strings will be the most difficult ones to get to ring. But hang in there. Remember what we said about the left hand finger position, just leaning over slightly. It's not about force, you're not squeezing too hard, but you're squeezing evenly as that finger squeezes against the left thumb. So, first with some help from the middle finger if you need it to, then when you've got all 6 strings ringing that way, begin to take the middle finger away. And then try and get all 6 strings ringing like that. Finally, and only when you have all 6 strings ringing with no support from other fingers, then you can begin to add one at a time the fingers. One at a time we'll build them into our standard major chord bar shape, which is the E shape in front of the bar. First the middle finger will go to the 3rd fret, 3rd string, 1 fret higher than the bar. And then the ring, when that's all working, the ring finger will go to the 5th string, 2 frets in front of the bar. There's every chance when you get to that point that the 4th string will stop ringing. Again, hang in there, don't try and squeeze harder, resist the temptation to squeeze harder, readjust the angle of that left hand. Finally, add the little finger on the 6th string, on the 4th string, 2 frets above the bar. and you have your standard major chord bar shape. One of the most useful shapes in all guitar playing, because that is a chord at every fret of the guitar. So actually, once you can play that shape, you get 11 chords for the price of 1. Back to technique again. Notice that on the barring finger, the hand isn't curling under the guitar. So the bar extends from underneath the first knuckle to just below the tip of the finger. So you can't curl that finger under the neck of the guitar because the knuckle joint is actually part of the bar. Okay, I want to say one more thing. As you begin to practice bars in real pieces, when you move to a chord shape that is a barred chord shape, bring the barring finger up first. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I want to go from C to a barred G position. Look how I do that. The first thing that happens is the barring finger goes up, and then it goes down on the fret I want it, and the chord shape comes in around it. Many people, when they first try and change to bar chords, do it the other way around. They make the shape with the fingers first and then bring the bar in, often with a physical movement of the wrist to roll that finger over. Now, I've seen it so many times with students. If they get into the habit of making bars like that, you never ever get to the point where you can change into a bar chord quickly. That bar finger will always follow behind the other fingers. So that's a very bad habit to get into. Make sure that as you change to a bar chord shape, up goes the finger first, and then the rest of the chord follows it. And one final word on the subject of bar chords. You will get them. I guarantee you that every guitarist who ever picked up a guitar, when they first tried to play a bar chord, said to themselves, I will never ever be able to do this. But everybody who got good could do it eventually. It won't happen immediately, don't expect it to, but it will happen eventually. Keep hanging in there with it.